What's up? It's 2D Crab back with another video, and today I'm gonna be doing scary animations. So let's get to it and like and subscribe and spam in the comments.
During my holiday, I spent about 3 weeks in Japan. I arrived pretty late, so I couldn't check into the hotel that I initially booked, so I booked the cheapest hotel that I could find nearby. Aesthetically, it was quite nice, but it did have easy access to the building, meaning anyone could come in and go to any room as they please. Plus, there was no security in sight. After arriving in my room, I ordered some food and watched some TV. I was still pretty jet-lagged from the flight, so I started to get ready for bed. As I was falling asleep, I felt the urge to double-check the door just to see if it was locked. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. About 5 minutes after I checked the door, I heard footsteps outside. Initially, I thought it was someone leaving their room, but the footsteps started to pick up speed. The sound started getting louder and louder, and I started to freak out a little. All of a sudden, the sound stopped. I looked at the light shining through the bottom of my door.
First, no offense to the white people that's gonna watching this, but if that was a black person, boy, he would have pulled out that here. He or she, I would have known, had some type of weapon. Won't just look at the door like, who's that? They won't try to guess, investigate.
There was a shadow of a person. At first, I thought it was room service, but it was too late for that. Or maybe it was some drunk idiot who was at the wrong room. As soon as I switched my light on, the shadow disappeared. I was confused, but I reluctantly went back to bed. That's when I suddenly heard scratching coming from my door, so I immediately turned my light on and shouted, "Who's there?" After a moment of silence, I heard the footsteps slowly fade away. At this point, I was thinking it could be some kids messing around, so I got up, opened the door, and peeked my head
Wrong
outside.
choice.
I glanced in both directions down the dark and slim hallways. That's when my heart stopped. A man emerged from the darkness and ran erratically towards me. His face was contorted as he screamed, and I could see he was holding a knife in his right hand.
You see that? Do you see that? That's the point when you need to get a weapon. You can't just look or hide. You got to get the weapon. Got to.
As he got closer, I could see him more clearly. He had disgusting long, dirty hair. His clothes were ripped, and he had cuts and bruises all over. I quickly slammed my door and pressed against it, praying that the man would just go away. After what felt like hours, I finally gathered my courage and looked through the peephole. He was gone. I let out a sigh of relief and checked the peephole again. My heart started pumping faster than ever before. He was right in front of the door. He was wearing a maniacal smile on his face, and all of a sudden he raised his knife and yelled, "I'm gonna fucking kill you!" I jumped back and kept my eyes locked on the bottom of the door as I backed up to my bed. I grabbed my phone and started dialing the police. As I raised the phone to my ear, I saw that the shadow was gone. When the police arrived, I tried to explain what happened, and they checked the security cameras. They almost immediately recognized the man. He had been doing this to people for a while now, and the police had been trying to track him down for months. After a long night of no sleep, I finally arrived at the right hotel that I had booked initially in Tokyo. That creepy guy was still on my mind, but I thought the chances of him being here were pretty slim, so I didn't bother locking my door that night. At 12:05 a.m.
Boy, how you sound? He said he ain't gonna bother locking his door, and then something slow just happened to him about something dealing with doors. How he sound?
Up to a big bang next to me. I turned around to see the same guy passed out on the floor with a knife in hand. I was in shock. How did he find me? I quickly ran out of the room and locked him inside. A cops came and he was finally arrested. Let's just say I'm always going to be locking my doors
How you
from
gonna
now on.
how you gonna pass out and you about to in the middle of saying about to murder somebody? Hey, no lie, that was good. All right, so we back. No, I'm not back. All right, so I got another one, and I started doing this because I be watching Corey Kempton a lot. Shout out Corey Kempton. Shout out to Kings of Games. I'm gonna put it, well, not Corey Kempton. Y'all know Corey Kempton. I'm gonna put Kings of Games and 3D Man in the description below, and spam in the comments, subscribe to them, and spam in them likes. Well, you can't spam them like and like their videos. Well, this one's called Hamster Hill. Oh, that kid ugly.
No, mommy.
You always said, no, mommy. No, mommy. Wife. That's nasty.
Silly hamster. Fun world. First, we have the pillow ride.
Is he dead?
Bumpy cars. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Do you want to ride on the death coaster? Tough. The next ride is called G-Force.
No. Now look at that. Who would do that to a hamster? Put it in a sock and twirl it. Like, not just like that, like everywhere. That's slow.
Oh no, you're too sick to ride the death coaster. You can ride it when you're better. It's time to ride the death coaster and die.
Right? Ugh. They escape.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, he mad. But he mad now. you gonna throw the hamster in there like that?
How did I give you her? They're dying. And it's all my fault.
Yeah, I better cry to the eagles.
Ow. Huh? Huh? Wow.
Babies.
Do not touch the babies. If you do, the mother will eat them. What is so
Is that true? I don't think so.
a cool, amazing?
Why are you touching? Even if it wasn't true.
Coming.
Yep, that was about to happen. Yeah. Man, this messed up. Yeah, it said not you. I mean, don't touch him. Why would you do that? You're just gonna hit it and then put it back right there. Yes. I don't got no food. That's nasty. No. Cannibalism. Yeah, that's nasty. Beat. If I was him, I'm gonna beat his out. Well, that was messed up. Alright. So this is our last animation. Whatever. I don't think it's animation. Yeah. Alright, this is our last animation. Then we're gonna wrap it up. The 2 Night Shift horror stories.
Hello, everyone. I need to share this experience I had at work the other night. The shift starts at 9 p.m.
Why is it in the middle of nowhere?
In the morning. Honestly, it's the easiest job I've ever had, and I really enjoyed it for the past year. But last Sunday, I was pulling up the purchasing program on the computer at the front counter to add some products that we had run out of. While I was on the computer, I didn't notice the man walk right up to me. When I did look up, I almost fainted because of how close he was. And on top of that, the guy didn't say anything after I did notice him. He gave me this psychotic little grin, and I asked him if he needed help finding something.
I'm finna stop it because that's lame. Alright, so we got another one because that one was just, I couldn't do that. This lame, too lame.
When I was 19 years old in 1985 on New Year's Eve.
Is this a grown up? I think it said, when I was 19 years old, Happy New Year, like that.
A bunch of my friends and I went to a rooftop bar of a hotel. About a half hour before midnight, I ran down to my car because I had forgotten my camera. I figured I would have plenty of time to get back up there and find my friends. I grabbed my camera and I got into an elevator all by myself. About halfway up, the elevator started shaking and it stopped completely. I was trapped. I have always had a problem with confined spaces, so this was not an ideal situation for me. After a few minutes, everything went silent that was going on outside. Then out of nowhere, the elevator lights went out, and I started to hear children laughing. But this was not the type of place where children would be. My heart started beating faster and faster and harder and harder. Then all of a sudden, I passed out. As I woke up, I noticed that I could not move or talk. I thought to myself, not sleep paralysis again. Then the light started to flicker on and off, and then all of a sudden, I see a black figure to the left of me, in the corner of the elevator, crouching down, smiling at me. I tried to scream, but nothing would come out. I tried to move, but I couldn't. A guy came over the loudspeaker and told me there was an electrical short, and that he would have me out soon. There's a camera in the elevator, so to the security guard, it looked like I was just laying there. I guess they figured I was drunk, being that it's New Year's. Anyways, every attempt to scream or move, that figure would just start laughing at me and pointing. This whole time, the lights are flickering. Then all of a sudden, I can hear the huge crowds counting down for New Year's. 10. The dark figure is staring at me, and now with a menacing smile, with 10 fingers up. 9. He's still looking at me with 9 fingers up, and he's moving closer. 8. He was still looking at me with 8 fingers up, and he's closer. 7. The same thing. 6. The same thing. 5. The same thing. 4. He's drooling, and he's much closer. 3. He's closer. 2. He was closer. Then the lights quit flickering, and it was pitch black. Then all of a sudden, outside went silent again. I felt breathing in my right ear. And then out of nowhere, I hear 1. I couldn't breathe. The light started to flicker again, and then the figure was on my chest. And all of a sudden, it was gone. And I can talk and move again. Usually when I have sleep paralysis, something bad happens. Once I got out of the elevator an hour later, I found out that there was a brawl during the countdown on the rooftop bar that I was at, and 4 people were killed by some maniac who was waiting until the end of the countdown to start hacking up people with a machete. Ever since then, I have not had a sleep paralysis episode.
That was messed up. Well, time to end this video.
I lived in a city in central Ohio that begins with a...
Alright, that was good, but that last one scared me really bad, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna wrap this up. Make sure, what I said in the beginning, make sure you like and subscribe below. And that's it. Bye.